And you know how on Reddit, there are subs that you can go on and ask for relationship advice. The OP wrote, I guess my girlfriend's biological body probably needs a home. I really do like her, so I don't really mind marrying her. It ends with, any good and sound advice from you senior guys here who have been through this life-changing milestone? The top responses are, marriage is not a word, but a sentence. A life sentence. And the classic, you're not very smart, boy. Why buy a cow when the milk is very cheap at the market? And another, you can still cheat on her while she's at university. Someone commented, post her photo. That's needed to make a sound decision. James disagreed. James had some very intense relationship marriage trauma that he wanted to talk to someone about. To give you some context, James and Jennifer, they got married in 2008. 1 year into the marriage, Jennifer was pregnant with their very first daughter. They're gonna go on to have 4 daughters, right? But this is their first kid. This is such a beautiful moment for the both of them. They're both so excited. They're nesting, they're setting up the nursery, and James is continuously showing that excitement by sleeping with another woman the whole time that Jennifer is pregnant with their daughter. Jennifer catches him. Now, we don't have more details on this, but we do know that she probably found out, and for a long list of reasons, she ends up staying with him. It's pretty clear, though, that the infidelity while she's pregnant, I mean, it's gonna take a massive toll on their relationship. It's gonna take a massive toll on her mental state. James said that Jennifer would bring up his cheating all the time. And each time she brought it up, she would have so much anger and hurt in her voice, and she would say something along the lines of, well, if you can cheat on me, I can cheat on you too, you know? James wrote on the Sammy Boy forum that his wife was making him, quote, live in fear and anxiety. He said he was living in fear. He was worried, so sick of worrying, and so anxious that his wife might actually cheat and be unfaithful. And the idea of that made him want to throw up. While he is worried sick, he showed his wife a video of 2 men and a woman, okay, doing intimate things. And he tells her, this is something I want to do. She told him, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? I'm not doing that. We're not bringing another man into our bedroom. And he goes on to Sammy Boy to say, after everything that we've been through, after she keeps rubbing this in my face, like, well, I can cheat on you too, she can't even give me this. On one hand, he's living in fear that his wife is going to cheat on him. On the other hand, his ultimate fantasy was to have another man join them in the bedroom, and she just turned him down. So he goes on to Sammy Boy to vent out all of his frustrations. Now, we don't really know exactly what kind of responses or advice he was receiving, but this is a website that has a full-on thread of men even debating the pros and cons of cheating on their wives. There's a whole thread. I was on there for like an hour because I was just so appalled.
Pros and cons of cheating
on your wife.
I wonder if they write any cons, or is it just all pros, no cons?
Yeah, some people wrote cons and they said, you know, once trust is broken, it's broken. Which is a very generic thing to say. But one commentator wrote, I guess when the opportunity comes, I cheat. If my wife does the same though, I can't accept it. A painful revenge is the easy way out. Why do I do this? And why am I like this, you ask? Because I'm an asshole and I don't give a fuck. The truth is, I'm quite sure that I'm no different than most of the men on this thread. So that's great.
Wow.
One person wrote the idea that they don't think cheating is good. They said you should not cheat, but they said it like this. I think sexual desires and needs will never be fully fulfilled. There are certain fantasies which I can never tell my wife about. Also, I can't turn her into a hot Latina model, but I gotta use my brain, so I'm not gonna cheat on my wife. This is the pool of people we're dealing with. And when James goes to write about how his wife has been holding a grudge against him since he cheated on her while she was pregnant, he said he knows this because she, quote, repeatedly tells me that if I can do as such, she can do the same as well. Since then, I have been living in fear and suspense. He also stated recently that Jennifer, his wife, has been acting cold towards him, and there's been a shift. He suspects that she is sleeping with her boss. They've been getting closer and closer together. It doesn't even feel like a work relationship anymore. He said, I'm worried that this is heading towards something that might go wrong. He posts this and the comments start pouring in. Personally, I mean, I think they're ill-advised suggestions, but they're all along the lines of, if she stayed with you after you cheated on her, that means she forgave you. She can't hold this over your head. And you shouldn't have to live in fear all day, my poor sweet boy. Have you thought about setting a trap for your wife? At least that way you'll know for sure if she's cheating or not. At least that way you don't have to deal with the anxiety of not knowing for certain. That is when James decides to set up a honey trap. These are services that you can actually purchase to test your partner's loyalty. They exist not just in Singapore, but like all over the world. You could do it in the US. I've seen TikTokers do it. There's one TikToker who made her whole career off of being a honey trap, or what they call it, like a honey. So this is very different from hiring a private investigator because you have suspicions that your partner is cheating. This is hiring someone to go out of their way, hunt down your significant other online or in person, and flirt with them. See if they're willing to cheat on you. This is a honey trap. Nowadays, you can pay a platform about $100, hire a tester to flirt with your partner online to see if they'll respond. And if they ignore it or flat out deny the tester, that'll be sent to the wife or the husband. And these days, the honeys, the testers, they never even meet with their subjects. It's all done online. They just message them, trying to get a response out of them. They send screenshots to the partners as proof. But James wanted more. He's like, if I'm setting a honey trap for my wife, they're gonna sleep with my wife.